Hello YouTube, I wanted to make a gameplay review about this crit top lane Olaf build. So there is a guy that reached how is it called? Um Master or even above Master with crit Olaf top lane, and and now the rank 3 player on Iune is actually playing crit Olaf top lane. So I wanted to review of his games to see how much validity does this build have. He played it in above 1500 LP Challenger, right? So let's see how much validity does it have. Let's check his runes. Alacrity, Presence of Mind, Conqueror, really 1v1 oriented runes. Biscuits, of course, approach velocity to run down the enemy champion faster. Biscuits, I assume, for a little bit of mana, HP management in the early game. Definitely great. Conqueror, as I know, the one from HappyChime noises, he always goes for lethal tempo. It's a bit better in the early levels, but Conqueror is totally fine as well. It might also just be a preference, but I like more lethal tempo than Conqueror, and also on the HappyChime noise, the lethal tempo build is the drill, but Conqueror is totally fine. It provides different stats. It provides AD. Definitely valuable. Although Olaf doesn't have the highest AD scalings, but I guess it's fine, and it's some healing, which is definitely fine as well. So, but usually it's little tempo, as I know. Okay. So in here, there's not much happening. Of course, he's leashing a tiny bit. He's not really throwing his axe anywhere, but that would definitely help with the leash, no? I guess he wants to spare as much mana as possible then for combat, because now it costs 50 mana, which is kinda a lot, right? I guess he also wanted to fake leash, so he plays in a really high rank where doing this, not spending your mana, can kinda like give off a signal for the enemy team that you fake leashed, meantime you went for a real leash, so it means that it's hard to identify where your own jungler, of course, started, so that's something to also consider. Okay, now he is pressuring already, you know. So now he is level 1 zoning the Aloy. The reason for that is Aloy does not have the best level 1, of course. There is not much she could realistically do against Olaf. So Aloy started with her Q to last hit the first 3 minions, of course. But in here I feel like it's not really great to start with your Q. In fact, what he could also do, he could back off, right? He could just fight him a tiny bit, back off, and perhaps pull his soul out, and then the tower will destroy his soul, which means that Olaf will take a lot of chip damage. So that's also a great thing, right? Or he could also W start. So in here he could then go for an auto W if he has a tentacle up here. Then like just space out, and that will be definitely a good short trade if Olaf can go only for a auto Q, right? Because Aloy's W actually deals a decent amount of damage, right? If it's recent. So now Aloy gets level 1 zone. I mean, what could he do? Not much. She gets level 1 zone, which means Olaf gets to have the XP, and Aloy misses out on the first 3 minions, which in general means that she will be in a XP deficit, right? She's gonna lose 3 minions, Olaf gonna get the XP. So she will be always behind with levels, right? So Olaf is abusing his level 1 power, definitely. Now in here, Aloy, if she would be really smart, I think she could ban E-start because she's gonna get level 1 zone, right? So if she E-starts, basically, I think he could go for a cheese play, because this deals how much? 31% of Olaf's HP, then it also summons tentacles. The only problem with that is, I guess it would like overpush the wave, so Olaf could perhaps get an early game freeze, so it has like a downside. If Olaf is playing smartly with the tentacles, he's backing off in here, then he's like sidestepping the tentacle hit and also like pushing the wave, right? So then Olaf can hold the wave on his side, which is great because it's easier to run down the Aloy. So I guess it has like a downside if Olaf is considering that, of course. So in here, Aloy is not looking for a Q, but Olaf is sidestepping really well, that's why he's not really... Yeah, yeah. Now she's throwing in a Q as well, of course. Yeah, I mean, Aloy has to give up, of course, like she has to give up. Now one thing I don't really like, Grasp, I don't know how to feel about this, because Grasp is made for short trades, but the thing is, Olaf is really an all-in champion with a slow, right? I don't feel like you're ever gonna get an auto-attack short trade on him without getting run down by Olaf, so I feel like Conqueror is better in matchups where you're not gonna get like too many Grasp procs, from my honest opinion. Like, it's something that allows you to survive through the early game easier, but in this matchup, Like, we will see how many grass procs will she get, but I feel like there is not much, or even if you get a grass proc, Olaf is all-inning you, so it's, I don't know. I feel like it's just bad, because it kinda ruins your Conqueror scaling, right? I don't feel like it's great, right? It's kind of the same thing with Yorick, right? Like, you could go Grasp against Darius, but you can't really auto-trade into him, because just to be clear, Grasp is an early game rune, right? So, if you don't get to, like, get some Grasp procs early on, it's not the best scaling one that you can get, you know? Okay. And also, if she has tentacles around, like, Conqueror is really easy to be stacked, so it's like... So Aloy is doing a really great thing, she's trying to hold the wave in some form. Oh, she's not. But Olaf had no axes actually, and I do believe she has corrupting potions, no? Oh, she has D-shield. So I think she could just take a little bit of chip damage and hold the wave downwards, and that's a perfect spot for her, because then she can look for ease, if Olaf is trying to contest it, and the E will be under tower of course, right? Or she can poke from a safer range, so even if she takes some chip damage, Olaf can't really Q her, right? And I would definitely take some chip damage in here to pull down the wave. Olaf can't really push her away because he made his W, he made his Q, so there is like, with his short auto range, Olaf couldn't do much about it if Aloy pulls the wave downwards. But I guess she didn't bother, right? Okay. What? Okay, so Aloy is level 3, so this is a great spot for Aloy to look for short trades, right? She W'd a bit too preemptively. So in general with Aloy, you want to W when you are already in W auto attack range. If you are not, don't W it, because people will possibly just outspace it, so then you shouldn't do it. Okay, so he is, not she? Where are you walking? Where are you walking? Oh, maybe he takes it as, yeah, that's why, huh? This was like a bait actually, right? I was actually feeling it. Oh, what the hell? His face, okay, what the fuck? I guess he's sidestepping everything, he escaped really well, right? So she went for a level 3 gang the Belvet apparently, right? Yep, so that was apparently a bait, so people are really smart in these high ranks. I was like, is she like inting? And no, it's actually just a bait towards the enemy jungler, right? So people in higher elos, they are not like doing this as a mistake, they are doing it as a bait, right? Okay. So Olaf decides to overstay because Belvet is spotted, and Aloy can't really dive on Olaf because he has a W, which can give him 120 shield at max. He gets level 4 soon, he has a slow, so there is no real way for Aloy to dive him, and also Aloy has to hit her abilities, which is a bit point flippy again, because they may or may not hit, right? So it's really niche. Oh. Okay, really good side steps. Really good side steps, my boy. Okay. Oof. Problem is trading with your E as Olaf, it also costs you HP, and if you get traded back, sometimes it's not worth. Sometimes it's not worth. So in here, he gets it with his E. Really good side step. Okay, we're getting everything in here. He's destroying the tentacles as well. Of course, he's warding this bush in case Aloy is there. I feel like it's waste of ward because here's the thing, there is the Aloy tentacle, right? And if she's not queuing you or something, it's kinda obvious she's not there. And Belvet could maybe be there, but the chances are extremely low, right? So the ward is a bit random, right? But now they're checking if Aloy is trying to like leech the XP, right? But she's not sitting anywhere, right? So they were checking if Aloy is sitting in a bush and trying to get some XP from the slow push or from the fast push of the Olaf, right? But no, she's not really there. Okay, let's see what he buys. 110 gold, right? Let's see what... Serate Dark, okay, great. So really good in the early game, right? In the early game it's really cheesy. Because of your Q already provides armor penetration, and adding that up to the Serate Dark as well, that can actually hurt, definitely. So you get like 20% armor reduction combined with the Dark. Your early game damage is really high after your first Q, so look, your Qs are actually hurt. And now Olaf is actually winning this all-in because she has no tentacles, and Olaf's all-in is really good, but the W, I feel like it was wasted. Like, I don't feel like at full HP you should ever W on Olaf, especially when you're not yet in combat to auto-attack because you're short-ranged. Now I get it, he wanted to auto-attack and reset his auto on the tentacle to destroy it, but he could destroy it in 2 autos. Like, this is one of those abilities, it's better to use it later on than earlier on, because it provides more when you're lower HP, and also it has a really long cooldown, so it's not really like a rotation ability like your Q that is gonna perma spam. Now he's winning these, right? So he's committing, because she has grasp, she's alloy of course, she's not 6 yet. And it doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter if your champion is so strong in all-ins, you don't care about her tentacles. In fact, in here he could ban force. The only issue that stops him like from forcing an all-in is that Belvet could be possibly around, because if you look around, mid is not gankable, right? Bot is not gankable either. Fiddlesticks might be gankable if she's around, right? But she's apparently bot side, right? She's not top side. But since she doesn't really knows exactly where Belvet is, I do believe he's respecting it, right? And that's why he's not committing for an all-in, because in here, in the present moment, he would win an all-in, 100%, right? But he stopped. I think the only reason was Belvet, the enemy Belvet could hover around, right? So it wasn't really bothering, right? But now Fiddlesticks is coming up, and it's revealed that Belvet is not really in this bush, and also even if Belvet is in one of these bushes, Fiddlesticks will eventually counter gank it. And now Olaf is soon 6, and after 6 he will probably commit, because Belvet can W his... Oh, now he's... Oh. Ooh. So Aloy couldn't ult... the Fiddlesticks Q. It was like a slight mistake on her part, right? So she made her ultimate probably, right? So with her ult she could ban dodge the Fiddlesticks Q, but that's something you kinda have to predict or react to, right? And then if you ult that off, then you either escape or kill them, depends if they are committing or not. But with her ultimate she would get like, what, one extra tentacle maybe, something like that. So Aloy smashes her idol into the ground to nearby enemies and spawning a tentacle for each enemy champion hit maybe. But at least he would dodge the stun, right? I mean the root. The fear, I mean. It's not 100% she would survive though. Yeah, probably not. Okay, so Olaf in here could have some type of freeze, no? Or am I wrong? I mean, in here he Q through the minions, right? So that's a bit of a bummer. He could like go to the side a little bit and thank you. But could he have a freeze? Let's see. Possibly he could have a freeze, right? And in here Aloy is dead without TP, so you can like either play for plates and deny waves, right? That's totally fine. Or you can also freeze, and this is questionable if it will freeze, probably it will. But here's the thing, you can also play for plates. Olaf is definitely fast at taking plates, so you can definitely commit for those plates. In fact, I would even take 1 tower shot as Olaf. In here I would take 1 tower shot. Maybe 1 or 2 tower shots. The reason for that is you get more attack speed, which means that you can't really be, you can push towers faster for more plates, right? And 1 tower shot doesn't really mean Belvet can kill you. But maybe with Irelia, with Irelia together, yes, so he has to be a bit careful, right? So he only took 1 plate and he's recalling under tower. He's not walking all the way back, because there is nothing in the... Uh-oh, are we committing? No, we are not. So he's not committing, he's not all-inning, because Irelia could just Q minions, get away, W, so... But in here they are sitting, both of them in here. And now Olaf tried to recall under tower, right? Then he went in a bush. Then Irelia most likely thinks Olaf wants to recall because he has a lot of gold on him, and even before he tried to recall. So most likely the enemy Irelia won't assume that both of these guys are here just because Olaf wanted to recall before. And it's like a fair thing to assume that he went back in a bush to reset, right? And now they are collapsing on the Irelia, so it's a small mind game, right? It's really like a small mind game. Okay, definitely great. And here he's just simply taking plates, so Aloy showed up on mid lane, right? Therefore, he's looking to get these plates, right? There's nobody to defend this. Okay. Nobody topside yet. So now he's getting his Rune Quiver most likely, or plated steel caps, we'll see. Yeah, plated. He went defensive. You can also go Rune Quiver, but plated steel caps is insane this game, right? Like they have a lots of auto attackers, physical damage, right? It's definitely great to run her down as well with the mobility. It's like the defensive choice. Like, it's really up to you, you know. Depends what do you value more, mobility and defensive stats or more damage. More damage means you can get plates faster and kill your opponent faster, right? So if you feel like you're gonna like kill your opponent over and over, then don't go defensive. Best if you go offensive, because it's easier to kill the enemy champion, get the bait, get plates, and then get the enemy camp, you know? Like if you play Olaf and you feel like you're in a matchup where you're gonna kill your opponent over and over, because it also depends on your rank, right? So if you play in a rank where, let's see this play again. So, Aloy gets his soul. Now there is a fun fact actually. You can actually start running down on Aloy as Olaf. So as soon at this point when you're 6 and Aloy is 6 as well, he can just literally Q the Aloy, goes towards her ult. And the thing is, Aloy can't actually E Olaf when he ulted. Yeah, she can't. So that means that you can run her down. So he had a slight mistake, he didn't ult and ghost the Aloy E, right? So we can visually see, in here he can actually legit run her down, she Qs through the minion, gets level 7, right? He plays for level 7 I do assume, and in here he could ban ult. Just like that, yeah. So in here he could ban ult, 100%, huh? Even if he's one level behind, I think the only thing that might be concerning is Belvet. She's not really bot side, so that's the only thing that's concerning, because there is no literal vision. Also mid is not gankable, bot neither, so that's like one concern. But make sure if you play against Aloy, at 6 you can probably run her down, because as I said, your ult always soaks a re, right? So in here, when he committed to the fight, he could fully commit. Like if Aloy doesn't get your E out, and a lot of Aloy mains are maxing their E, no matter what matchup they play in, not their Q. Now the reason why this guy maxes her Q, because he's playing against Olaf, and Olaf's, how is it called? Olaf's ult can cancel her E, right? But he could ban just E that ult, and then he can run her now. So we can still see that even without the, yeah, you can see how insane damage Olaf does have, right? So even if Olaf gets eat by Aloy ulted, apparently she still manages to win though, so that's definitely great. Okay. So now he's just simply pushing the tower, of course. That's like a really good tip, right? Also, like, it works against Mordekaiser's Shadow Realm. It works against like many like non-traditional CC abilities, right? I mean, Aloy Z isn't really a CC, but it doesn't work against Olaf's ult. Now he's getting his Vampiric Scepter, lots of lifesteal against her pokes, of course, because the only way Aloy wins right now, if she's out poking in some form the Olaf, right? Otherwise there is no kill condition for Aloy, but since he has Vampiric Scepter, so much lifesteal, there is no kill condition anymore for the Aloy, sadly, so at this point he's just kinda getting outscaled. As at the same time, Aloy's ult has as much cooldown as Olaf's ult, or even a bit more, right? A tiny bit more. So that generally means there is no way you have your ult up before he does. So at this point Aloy is pretty much doomed. And also Olaf has a freeze. The thing is, it's hard to play for plates against an Aloy because of her E and ultimate, right? She has damage on their tower, so like in here he could hold the freeze. But he also has the option to shove because his team is ahead. Well, I guess not the bot lane, but his team is to some degree ahead, right? Which means he could, if Belvet dies in here in the present moment, then he could go for the Herald with his team, right? So he's not on freezing. Huh? That's great. He's holding a freeze, that's definitely great. He's maxing his W. I think Olaf players usually max E, no? Against like tanks, at the time people max their E on Olaf. Now in these days that your Q penetrates armor, I'm not sure if E-max is still correct, right? In here he's looking to run her down because, as I said, Aloy has no ult. So in here if Aloy had ult, before Olaf does have, then Olaf would be in trouble, but Aloy's ult has always more cooldown, right? Than Olaf's ultimate. So if Olaf's ult is not up and you guys use your ultimates at the same time, then it usually means Aloy's ult is not up either, right? Just, yeah. Like, Aloy is not a good champion in general, right? And it is really bad into, like, Olaf. Okay. Okay. So he saw actually Belvet hovering around, and he could then actually try to contest the Herald, but at the same... Oh, he does. The only issue is Irelia might be around too, right? So then we don't have enough info, so let's see how he wards it. Okay, that's good. Because Belvet players like to they are like Shyvana players, you know? Often Belvet players are hinting for Heralds as well, you know? So that's the general idea, right? And now he's bluffing Erika, right? So he went downwards and he's not showing up, right? And Aloy would possibly autopilot shove this or step up, which would allow Olaf to run her down because he has ult up, right? So let's see what he does. He also could camp for Belvet in case she shows up. It's totally fine. Let's see what he does. Because he's really turbo fast here, right? Okay. But yeah, he's actually doing the same. And people are like, you see, like people are falling for these type of things even above 1000 LP challenger, right? Like Aloy is tilted right now, and most likely she thinks Olaf either resetted or he's doing the Herald, right? And now she's getting run down. Oh, she missed her E. It's a bummer. But Olaf overthrowed a bit her X. His X, I mean. Oh, good flash. Aggressive flash. Ooh, really good flash. Really aggressive flash. Nice. Had a lot of damage. He was confident in his damage, right? We can see he's limit testing a lot as well with his champs. Now he's resetting. He's not risking for update. There is no reason, right? So he's getting his Noon Fever, probably selling this, getting Noon Fever, or yeah. Yep, Noon Fever brought, definitely great item. He's really ahead on the curve, by the way. And apparently Aloy also gets countered by his team, right? To some degree, so even in team fights he will definitely fall off. But Irelia is okay. So Belvet is not yet on Herald, which is interesting because Belvet players usually are coin flipping a lot of Heralds. They really like to get these early game Heralds, they are really good for her, right? That's why he likes to ward those objectives, right? So he Qs again, E's, like that. The thing is, even if Aloy, I don't know why doesn't he works out. I guess he will heal it up anyways, right? So as I said, like the only win condition of Aloy is if he pokes Olaf out, but Olaf has too much life steal from his items, of course, right? A lot of healing, passive, healing, really great. So now she can't even win out of poking, right? So it's terrible, like it's a really bad matchup for Aloy, right? So if you see an Aloy, you're like an Aloy hater, then definitely pick Olaf. Now in here he's in a 1v2 scenario. Let's see if he manages to kill both of them. He didn't really ult the W of Belvet, of course. He doesn't want to give his oh, ult. Okay. He does ult a little bit late, but it's fine. Is it fine? It's fine. A little bit late, but it's fine. Oh, he's getting even up. Oh my god, he's turning it around. Oh, he tried. Wait, it's fine. It's fine, he picks it up. He does 6 picks it up. Okay, that's totally fine. And now he's getting his pickaxe, or how is it called? Oh, he's finishing the whole thing. Okay. Oh my god, this is a big spike because crit is actually really good on Olaf because you have a lots of attack speed, right? So the faster you attack, the more crits you get, right? Also you remove armor with your Q, which means your crits can hurt harder. And also you gain a lot of damage, 70 damage, which can be even more if you have more Conqueror stacks, of course. And also Conqueror gives also damage, which means from ult and Conqueror itself you can get like 100 AD, which combined with crit means even more damage. And also your Q synergizes with crit. So crit Olaf is actually decent. It's something like Mastery, it's a bit similar to it, but not really. Like it's a heavy auto attack crit build, right? But Mastery also goes on hit actually. It doesn't really go crit in these days, right? I guess he really badly wants, but yeah, it's doomed. Is it? Yeah, it's gone. Executed. He just lets it go. There's no way. There's no way. So in here I think he's looking to like get the top tower, maybe lay a ward on Herald so they don't sneak it. Because I feel like Velvet players really like to take... No, she's not actually. Okay. So the reason I do believe why she's not like trying to get it, the Herald, because it's a bit risky. And Olaf always has priority on top lane. Olaf is really strong, so it's too coin flippy for her to do it. So that's why it's really great to win your top lane, because if they have Velvet, then it's harder for her to, of course, secure these bigger objectives like Herald, which is really important for her because she has a special synergy with getting Heralds, right? Okay. So Olaf is building slowly up his items, of course. He's getting his collector slowly. I don't generally like collector, but it kinda makes sense on Olaf, because your Q, like if you are really above on the curve, right? Your Q already penetrates armor, so it might be worth over Lord Dominic's. I'm not quite sure if it's mathematically better, but like Lord Dominic's is always more consistent, right? Like the only thing that justifies collector is Olaf's Q, maybe justifies it, right?
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So now he's hunting Aloy down. There's no mercy. There's no mercy. So he was staying in between this area, right? Because he was waiting for the red, right? He was waiting for Aloy, right? So in here he had options. He either rotates mid, right? His camera was on mid. If there is something he can do about mid lane, he will rotate mid. If not, he can take Herald, I mean red. If not, if Aloy shows up, then he can also run him down with the proc of the blast cone, right? So he went down, so he gives himself multiple choices, right? In the sense that he can do this, he can roam downwards, of course, to the mid lane and top lane as well. So that's definitely great what he did there, right? Now he's just running her down, no? Oh yeah, she has vision. Oh. Ah! She has less speed though. She's dead. I don't feel like that Aloy should win it though, no? Yeah, no way. No way. Like Aloy has lots of damage when she ults, but come on. Like Olaf heals so much. I think this is one of those champions where you actually need to buy like anti-heal, because he has Conqueror healing, 80% lifesteal. Of course he has lifesteal sources. He has 15% lifesteal actually, right? So he definitely heals a lot with Conqueror as well, right? And also he gets damage boosts from his ult and Conqueror, which means he heals even more. So definitely like the whole kit synergizes really well with this crit. Like everything Shieldbow gives is great. It's really great on Olaf. So he's now rotating mid lane, of course. So his damage is insane, right? His damage is insane. So he gets 79, more than 100 with Conqueror together. 100% AD scaling, of course, so... And also the important thing to look at, the enemy team is full of CC. And Olaf's ultimate counter CC, so they're kinda low on damage, but they are high on CC and slows, right? Which means that those enchanters don't get to like kite out Olaf so easily, especially because he has Ghost, right? I guess he doesn't commit. Does he commit? Like he could ban Ghost there, but not necessarily, because he doesn't have ult, right? Okay. So in here what happens? I mean, not much, right? He's just simply like clearing these. Yep. He's just simply like clearing these things. Now he's killing Velvet. All in angle, right? Oh, he's not picking up the X though without X. Oh, can we do it without X? No. No! There's like no chasing without X's, right? Because Velvet had Ghost as well, of course. But Velvet is getting one. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Velvet is just getting one-shotted, right? But look at Olaf's damage, by the way. Like, he has no ult, but his damage is still insane. Can he Q? Muchas gracias. Sweet. So I think he maxing W, not E, because the attack speed is more valuable, so he can get multiple crit swings in, instead of like more damage on your E, of course. So maybe that's like the whole idea, right? Also bigger shield, right? Okay. Less cooldown as well, right? Ah, this build feels to be really good, right? Like it feels to be more carry, right? And I don't know, like you have a lot of damage. The only problem is if they have a lot of mobility, in the sense that they don't kite you out with CC, because Olaf can't really be kited out with CC because of his ultimate, but if the enemy champions have some type of Shurelia, Lulu, Karma champs, when you ult, they just disengage with the mobility they have, and when your ultimate is off, they can CC you, of course, so that's what Olaf kinda falls off to. That's why you need also an enchanter. Nami can provide mobility to Olaf with her passive and with her mandate, of course, which is great.